you owe me for this bike here. And he went, oh, no, not a chance. He said, if you're employing somebody, they wouldn't pay for it, so I'm not paying. Luckily, he doesn't watch YouTube. Anyway, he says, my thermos flask in back of my top box was smashed to bits.
You've been bouncing on the So, Phil, tell me a story about the early days at Youles Motorcycles when everything was black and white.
Right, so we've just started selling MZs and we've got 4 bikes, maybe. So 4 bikes was the initial stock, which would be an ETZ 125 in disc and drum brake, an ETZ 250 in disc and drum brake, and a couple of 50cc Simpsons. So you'd have an off-road and a road Simpson.
Yeah.
And we sells this guy a bike in Accrington. He comes in the shop and he goes, I've had a puncture at the top of Dillor Lane, or just somewhere down Dillor Lane. And I'm like really busy. There's only me. I'm on my own type of thing. Probably Rob Mercer will be. Yeah, Rob Mercer was in the workshop with us then. He'd be very young. And my dad was about. And my dad went, well, I'll pick it up for you. No problem. And my dad wasn't involved in the business, but he would sort of hang around sometimes and help me with bits of things to move and what have you. Yeah. So he sets off in his trailer on the back of his car, pick this bike up. And then about an hour later, half an hour later, whatever, he comes back. He says, and he's got a long face, and he says, "I'm sorry, Phil." He said, "But I didn't strap the bike on properly." He said, "I went round the roundabout at the top of Dillor Lane. Bike's come off." He said, "I was on the roundabout." He said, "I couldn't stop." He said, "So I had to carry on." So the bike's, I've dragged it round the corner.
Dragged it up the road?
Yep, it's absolutely smashed to bits, this bike. Smashed to bits. So I'm like, oh no, mate, this customer's bike, and it's just wrecked. It's very young at the time, I can't ring this guy up. I can't say to him, I've smashed your bike up. So I thought, what I'm going to have to do here, I'm going to sort it. So I get a brand new bike out of the showroom, bearing in mind that's my stock virtually.
Oh no.
Take all the bits off this bike and repair his bike. So you fix his puncture. So you can't tell anything's happened to it. I mean, when I say it was smashed, it was only like indicators, and it wasn't like bent or anything. It was only like, Yeah. Oh, by the way, as well, I said to my dad, I said, you owe me for this bike here. And he went, oh, no, not a chance. He said, if you're employing somebody, they wouldn't pay for it, so I'm not paying.
That's brutal.
That's brutal. That's a life lesson for you. Never there was one. Yeah, luckily he doesn't watch YouTube. So this bike we repaired, and we replaced all the bits on it and that were damaged. Yeah. And the speedo was damaged, so I had to put the new speedo on it. And the top box, somehow it had a top box on it, and somehow the top box wasn't damaged. So it wasn't marked. I don't know how it wasn't marked, but it wasn't marked. And we replaced, changed all that over, put the top box on the new bike, blah, 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 blah. So when the customer came to collect the bike, slightly deceitfully, I said, "So a little bit of a problem with your bike when it was in." I said, "But I've sorted it, and I've just road tested it. The speedo wasn't working, and I've put your new one on, and everything's okay." Nowadays, I would just come clean, but young lad, I was only young, you got to learn, haven't you? So he takes this bike, and he's happy, pays his 15 quid or whatever it was, this puncture, which I'm thinking, doesn't even watch the sides on this job. Takes his bike, and off he goes. Next day, he comes back in. He says, when you road tested my bike? I said, "Yeah," and I'm thinking, shit, what's happened here? He says, "Where did you take it?" I said, "Well, I went down Belgarth Road." I said, "And you know that bit of rough, there's like a bit of unmade road." So I went over that, round the block. He says, "That explains it." I said, "Why?" I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, when I got to work," he says, "my thermos flask in back of my top box was smashed to bits."
You've been bouncing on the Oh no.
So I had to buy him another thermos flask.
Because she was Oh, the good old days, eh?
The good old days. There you go.
Can't get away with that now.
We can't get away with that now.
Camera.
Oh, yeah. You can just imagine it going. Somebody to film, his bike and all that.
It's already been on YouTube.
Oh.
That's mint.
But yeah. So that's a good one.